Nigeria as a country is heading towards a very wonderful day ahead of us. In the next few days from now, we'll be having Nigeria celebrating a 61. Well, not right from the time of amalgamation, but from the time of independence. That's what we're talking about this very moment. And of course, joining me on this program is a very special personality that you will love to listen to. He's not just a father, but he is a personality that has so much investment. Not what you could see or what I should mention to you, but I'm talking about the investment of his personality. It's awesome. It's amazing that you need to stay back and listen to every of our programs today. All right, a quick one today. I'd love you to meet my guest today. Well, he will quickly give us a quick synopsis of what it is, and we'll take it out from there. So good to have you here, sir.
Same here.
Welcome.
Good morning, Nigerians.
All right, let's quickly meet you, sir.
Well, I'm a common man, like you all know. My names are Sunday Agbomire. I am an employee of a conglomerate organization, like you all know, AG Leventis Nigerian Limited. I happens to be one of the paddler top shots of their real estate division, one of the small units but big that encompasses a lot of estates in the whole federation. When I mean federation, the whole Nigeria. It's an organization we all know that is well recognized in the whole world. But thank God we are privileged that I'm one of the anchor to ensure that the legacy that was created in the past continues in our own generation, and we'll be able to leave something for the oncoming generation. By the grace of God, we will get there.
Thank you so much. It's a great thing having you here on our program today.
That's right.
We look forward to having a great time with you in the next few minutes.
It's my pleasure.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us on this program. We'll be going on a short break. When we return from that, we take it up on our program today. Please
Thank you.
Don't go away. We'll be back shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our yard program on BRtv, a very special segment with a very big personality, a great Nigerian, patriotic enough to let us understand what it was like yesterday, what it is today, and what we should be expecting Nigeria coming years. Now, one of the things we need to look out for, like I mentioned earlier on, is Nigeria getting to 61. This very week that we are getting into, that we are in already. And we'll quickly like our guest to throw more light on what it takes. A 61-year-old child, what should be the expectation from the society? What we should be looking out for? This man, this young man that is 61 this week, what should be the nature, the futures of this very personality that we are talking about? I'm talking about Nigeria as a country.
Yeah. Nigeria at 61, it takes the grace of God. It's just like a newborn baby, thinking of what he wants to be and what he wants to aspire in life. Nigeria at 61, first and foremost, will say we are all living under the grace of God. And when I mean the grace of God, and that's the only substance in all aspects. But coming to see Nigeria as a country at 61, where we were and where we are now, there's a far distance. But looking at the future, we know we have a very, very, very good future if we have a good leadership. And that's one of the reasons and one of the issues that is real facing us in this country. And from my personal experience, I see the future very, very rosy. But unfortunately, if we don't move in line with the set goals of our founding fathers, when I mean founding fathers, those who started this race, we might not get anywhere. Because first and foremost, we all know it is not a situation where we need to tell ourselves lies. We are living in a country of fear, where we have insecurity everywhere. And in a situation where you have insecurity in the society, you cannot move forward. Because there will not be, the foreign investors will not come because of the fear. And aside that, looking forward that we had infrastructures in the past, what did we have to leave for our children in the future? So what am I trying to say? For us to move forward, we need three fundamental issues. Security, infrastructure. Infrastructure in the sense that you look at the road network, you look at electricity. Once this is in place, I tell you, there's no country that will not move forward having these three elements in places. Above all, like I said, security. The government needs to rise up to its responsibility. Incidentally, for this forum, we're not talking about a government. We're talking reality.
Yeah.
But I feel sincerely, if we don't have that aspect in place, irrespective of the government coming in, we will not. And a 61-year-old person, for now, will be thinking, this is where I am. This is where I'm moving I want to be. But really speaking, and logically speaking, one fundamental thing that is the fear, or like a driven tool, is security. If you have that in place, believe you me, you have You can sleep and close your eyes.
Well, I love this, the point you just raised now. One of the things is insecurity that is actually prevailing so much in our country today. We also look at the infrastructure you mentioned, the social amenities, and which on this note, can you take us back to what it used to be like, you growing up, kind of social amenities you enjoyed? Now, one of the key things why I brought up this is because I was told that there are some of our fathers who went to school, most of them on scholarship.
That's correct.
Most of them went to school where the school fees were not mentioned in the school. It was just a free education, and they got this. And the same people who enjoyed these opportunities now have children that are meant to also enjoy their life, even though things have changed. But we have discovered that after much struggle, you pay your school fees are also not friendly at this time enough, and you get out of the system, from the school where you serve your father's land during your NYSC, you are done with it, and you get back. Some of these young people today, they are saying, why would you go to school on scholarship, enjoy free education, and it gets to a particular generation where we're supposed to have the same enjoyment, even though it's not really the same, we're supposed to have an opportunity or to have a privilege of being your children to also enjoy at least a good standard of education.
That's right.
But it looked as if some of our fathers forgot what they actually enjoyed to pass the same privilege to the children. I don't know if you have.
Yeah, I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
First and foremost, to wrap up what you just mentioned. One, it is a personal issue which I tag as insincerity as a person, as an individual. Because as a nation who has a lot of infrastructure, you have a lot of, name it, we have what it takes in this country to be at least one of the front country in the whole society, in the whole nation. Unfortunately, back to what you have said, insincerity. Once that is taken off as an individual, I look at myself, you look at yourself, what can you contribute to the society? But you discover now that it's now everyone to himself. God for us all. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. A sensitive issue is that a country has nurtured you, paid everything for you to be what you are. Incidentally, people like us that never had the privilege and opportunity, but then we believe in this country. If you believe in this society as an individual, not what you think you can take from society, and that's why I captioned it insecurity, insincerity from all aspects. What am I trying to say? When this country was handed over to us years back, things were moving. You have the rail, you have all the aspect of transportation, you have it. It's like, but today, I think of myself, I want to compete, I want to even kill. If we remove that aspect of sincerity, let's be sincere to ourselves, let's be faithful to this country, we will move forward. A lot of people today, you now see us, we are competing. What happens to the rail? What happened to the air travels? What happens to the road travels? The government has this in place, but we kill it. Let's be sincere to ourselves. And that aspect, when we continue in this realm, we may not get anywhere. I sincerely, with the way we are going, if we don't go back to our steps, my dear brothers, I have a feeling that this country might not progress. But above all, since, like I said initially, everything we are looking at, talking about, all centers at God. God still loves this country. And you and I, whosoever, wherever you are, you need to place that first. That what is happening. Today, how much is $1? This is an individual thing. It's just an artificial issue for somebody who wants to get rid of himself. I made mention of it. Security and sincerity. With that, a lot of graduates, why do you send your children to school? Why? At least to take over from you, to see the works of life of what you've done. But today, it's like, unfortunately, if we are sincere to ourselves, why should I? I was brought and bred up in this country. The next thing, I'm at the top of hem of affairs. I cannot bring my own children to see what is happening in my country. It's a shame.
Well, that is really important. It's good for us to really understand it. I also look back to a few weeks back, a good Nigerian actually said something. He said, if Nigeria will be sincere to themselves for 1 year, you'll be amazed of what the kind of transformation that actually
That's the point.
Happen in this
That's
country.
the point. In sincerity, I want to get there. The first thing I need to do, let me acquire an empire to myself. I don't care. But don't forget, those who started this country initially, who fought for this independence, for what is making you and I to be alive till today, they were sincere. But we came in, you are competing with it. Nobody is in the level of fraud in this country. It's a situation that we really need a government to sit down and really talk individually to us. Then we'll move forward. That's just the seriousness. No matter what you put in, when we talk of corporate governance, we talk of this. If we don't put these issues straight on the table, my brother, we'll still be circulating in the same eat situation.
Well, that is really important. Before we go on a quick break, I like us to also look at this aspect of now that we are looking up to a lot of persons, a lot of agencies, and I believe that the government also must have set up maybe a committee on what they can actually do regarding Nigeria as 61. What are we really celebrating at 61?
Well, let's put the word independence. Yes, we are independent. That's the first thing everybody will really say. But what have we to show for it? What have we to show for it? Because when you talk of the rail system, we're not there. You talk of the air system, we're not there. It's a shame that at this point in time, we don't even have a national carrier. We don't. The countries that started after us, look at the economy of Ghana. Why? They all realize that a country is not you alone. It's for all of us.
Everyone.
So let's sit down and really come in. Forget the ethnicity. But we know the root cause of this issue. If we're talking of Nigeria 61, the question I will put back to everybody listening, what is there for us to celebrate? Are we talking of security? Are we talking of insincerity? Are we talking of bad infrastructures that we have? The system is really, it calls for everybody to come back to a round table conference. We need to purge ourselves. That is the only thing we could be talking of sincerity. I need to just bring in a little verse in the Bible that you don't go to equity with soil hands, go to equity with clean hands. Our hearts need to be clean for the future of the unborn generation, because whether you and I like it or not, this country has come to stay, and God will lead us.
Amen. All right, thank you so much. We'll be going on a quick break. When we return from that quick break, we look at some of the stories that we still have. Well, we don't have much time today, but we'll be looking at the relationship between our fathers who are in leadership today and the children. Like they said, children or youth are the leaders of tomorrow. What is the relationship like? We have a lot of youth in Nigeria. We celebrate them, well, at a point, but we seem to ignore this generation, the youths. And the same people live Nigeria. When they get outside the shores of Nigeria, you see they become celebrities, they become people that the whole world get to celebrate. We'll find out why that scenario keep repeating itself in our system. Don't go away. We'll be back shortly.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for staying with us. It's still a moment that you have, to ask yourself reality questions, something you need to tell yourself the truth. Well, we have our guest in the studio who says something, a quick synopsis of what we've been looking at. He said something about the Nigeria of yesterday and the Nigeria of today, what we can do to really get ourselves back on track to make sure that we have the Nigeria of our dream. Now, one of the questions we need to ask ourselves, can the leadership of today produce the Nigeria of our dream? If no, what can we do to really get the Nigeria of our dream? Well, most people have given up, but we have our guest in the studio who told us that the future of Nigeria is bright, but the leadership of our country have not seen that to put in place some of the machineries that would take us, catapult us into that future that we are talking about. All right, having us back again on this segment, I really like us to look at the relationship between the Nigerian youth, the youth that we've been talking about, that they are the leaders of tomorrow. What is the relationship between this youth and their fathers? Are we really looking at the future to be better with this youth, or we are producing a generation that don't know what comes next in our future?
Well, like we all know, the future of this country is in the hands of the youths. The youths are our future. Definitely, no country progresses without the upbringing of the youths. Having said that, the chronological aspect that is happening now, if it is not checked, we keep on seeing people of our age recycling ourselves, neglecting the youth. There's need for re-engineering in all aspects. Bring up the youths. Bring up the youths. Get the youths involved. Get them to be part and parcel of every sector. Look at, let's take for example Canada today. Check their ministers. Even look at Rwanda. You see the ministers. I learned a country, 18-year-old, a minister. We need to start from our grassroots. Get our youths involved. And I love that generation coming up, but not violence, not in a violent way. Our youths are coming up. Get themselves involved in so many. When we talk of our forefathers or our leaders today, the least person you see the age is about 65. What are we talking?
That is a list here.
That's the list. What are we talking about? I have a son. I am telling my son, look, you have to start from somewhere. I am not bringing you in to say, no, Nigeria is eat and eat. No. The culture is a participative system.
Good.
It's a participative system. If you start recycling 68, 65, now we are going into election now. You have not seen anything. Incidentally, it's not a topic of discussion this morning, but we are going into election. You see, people like us are watching. We are still celebrating the leaders of the. It's not a situation. No, you have tried. You've made your quota. That experience you have, impact it. You can sit down and be an instructor under, not to come and people worship you. That's the problem we're having, and that's why some of the youths are angry. Enough of this. Let's impact our youth. Let's get them involved in all sectors. In all sectors. There's no need we start thinking of a managing director of a corporation at what age? 60, 70. What do you want to imbibe that you have not done? Give it out to the youth. Call the youths. Let them be involved. By the time you put all the youths in areas, you hold them accountable of what is happening. My brother, don't let us deceive ourselves in this country. That's just the basic truth.
Well, this is really amazing. And as a result of this, what we are discussing today, we have a lot of pressure that crept into the system where every young Nigerian, every youth, they feel they want to do something to achieve whatever they want in the wrong direction, taking the wrong step, wrong process to really get it done. And we look at this last 2 weeks, we had a lot of young people who came out on our program here and said something and said, we actually have two countries in one.
Yes.
The country of the youth and the country of the elderly.
That's correct.
And even the elderly, they also said the elderly is just a few who came, who don't really know the price our forefathers paid to bring us to where we are, to make us a country. Now, one of the key things that is so disturbing, what do you think our coming days will look like if the youth are still deprived of the opportunity to serve their country? I don't know how it's going to look like.
Well, it's a very straightforward issue. Like the key word of what we are talking about is sincerity to oneself. You see, we have passed that stage of misleading the congregation just because of few coupon of naira you pour. You see, and that aspect is one of the things that is go there and take your own. No, because by the time you allow yourself to be used, you've been paid, so you have no right for any form of complaint. But there are serious youths, serious individuals. Even if the leaders themselves are sincere to themselves, they will know who is their right follower. But these days we have leaders with bags, money bags, following because we know what the society is actually saying. But this has come to a situation for a change. I mean, change, not as in changing a political way.
Yeah.
It's a situation where I know.
Positive change.
Exactly. We need a positive change. And that positive change will come, not on violence level, but getting the youth involved. I mean, at my age, I used to tell people that, look, I have served in an organization for over 30 years. What do I want to contribute again? Let me be at the corner and begin to see. That's just the aspect. But in Nigeria today, like I said, it's a situation of I am not sincere to myself. I'm not faithful to. And yet to keep saying, let's play, I play to Nigeria. We are not following what we're saying. It's our pocket. It's just for me and me alone. That aspect has to change, not in a violentical way, but in a manner like we are transiting. This is the stage. I have seen A, B, C, D. Today, go to parastatals. How old are the people who are at the end of affairs? What are they still in there? What are they still in there? You have served an organization for over 20, 25 years. Pass the baton. Think. The youths are alive today. Although you have some of them that are after what they can get for themselves, but there are some who have, like you rightly said when we were starting these programs, I have taken pains to sponsor you, paid your fees and everything. There must be, come and inject what you learned over there. Come and inject it. There are people like that, but we kill them because we are not sincere. We are not sincere. And that aspect has to take shape when we remove these tribals, ethnic, and all whatnot. It's one of the things that is killing us. When is he an Hausa man? Is he a Yoruba man? Is he from the East? Is he a Christian? Is he a Muslim? This aspect has to move off, or else we will still be going around the same circle. And I believe with focusedness and God on our side, we will.
Well, thank you so much on that note.
Yeah.
All right, that is a very wonderful time, a very inspiring segment for us today to really look at what is happening within our country. Well, enough of what happened. We're actually looking at what we need to do to get better or to get out from the trouble that we have been. That's what we are discussing in our program this evening. All right, we'll be going on a quick break. When we return from there, we'll try to see how we can wrap up on our show today.
Thank you.
Please don't go away. We'll be back shortly.
Thank you.
so much for staying with us. It's still a moment that you have been waiting for to hear what you need to hear on this platform, on this segment, on our program today. Like I told you, it's a very special segment today. Normally, we do it our way. All right, thank you so much. It's been an amazing time.
Thank you so much.
But before I let you go today, quickly, let's look at this. We tried to, as much as possible, to carry out, should I say, a research to find out what is the importance of history to our younger generation. Is it possible that we get back to the history to study ourselves what it was like? Is it possible for us to say, okay, this is what we have been doing, and we did it this way, and we had amazing results yesterday, and we can still do it this way? What do you think we should, the rule of a history in developing our country as it is now?
Yeah, there is no better country that will move forward without going back to history, the origin.
Right.
We need to get back to that. It's not, you see, what we are doing presently, we are all cutting corners. We're not following the lines of what the founding fathers. So we need to go back. It's like a learning process. We go back. Whatever you think we are doing now, we are just running around the bush. Because like I said initially, what are the infrastructures in place? Are we really walking in line with the laid down rules? Of course, no. We have the rail system, perfect system. We have the air system, perfect system. What has happened to it? So we need to go back to history, look at what was laid down, what they were doing, how they were doing it, how they were achieving it. That's the thing that will bring forward, that will lead us aright. But like I said, with a clear conscience. With a clear conscience. It's not a situation where we just come in, we talk, there's no action. Yes, putting into places, those infrastructures, they were there. They were laid down. Where did you keep them? We need to go back and see how they were laid, and how they were being implemented. With that, my brother, like I said, this country has a very brighter future.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy about this. You actually mentioned something else, implementation, well, which actually helped us to understand that it's not all about the programs we come up with. It's all about implementation of our projects and whatever we have. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy.
We look forward to having you anytime you come around.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on this program. Yeah. We'll move over to the next segment. But before we get to the next segment, we'll be going on a quick break. Don't go away. We'll be back shortly.